Matt Glass is the Chief Operating Officer of Bluestream Professional Services, and Matt is here with us in Dallas at the TIA 2015 Network of the Future Conference. Hello, Matt. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Bluestream serves the telecom carriers from many perspectives. From a core and edge network perspective, how has cloud network architecture changed the work we do at the carriers?
Bluestream has a large nationwide footprint, inclusive of the carrier space, but we also have a very diverse client base. We're seeing the carriers and a lot of others go to a software-defined network, NFV, or Internet of Things, IoT. Within that puts us in a mode of constant training. So we've got a large presence in the legacy networks. And so as we see these new network components come out and seek to be installed, we're constantly in the mode of training and retraining our engineers and our installers from an imaging perspective on the logical side of the engineering, and then on the physical side of the installation, training our technicians on the methods and procedures to install the nuanced cloud equipment. Secondly, I think that basically we're installing a new network. However, the existing legacy network, there can't be any service interruptions. So while we have a unique position in that we've been with many of the carriers installing and maintaining networks, central office space, POP networks for 15 to 20 years. So as the nuanced elements come out of the cloud, what is called maybe the cloud era, we continue to see train, retrain, but at the same time, we do that with the same staff or some of the same staff that is currently maintaining the legacy networks. And then lastly, I think what we see is we've got to make space for the new components. Not only space as in physical space, but space with respect to power requirements. So from that perspective, we've got to decommission some elements of the network to make room for the new elements, as well as maintain the legacy network, all in parallel. So those are the challenges for us.
How does Bluestream work with the small cell ecosystem to create successful deployment?
We are very active in the small cell ecosystem. From a DAS perspective, which is one component of that micro networks or small cell ecosystem, we made an acquisition earlier last year, which allows us to work in the larger venues, stadiums and so forth. We also work in the carrier space with their DAS programs. And then we work in the neutral host space as well. In addition to that, the small cell distribution around a city. They would use a polygon as a term. A polygon is an area that you want to cover with access points in order to provide continuous network coverage in a downtown or densified area. So what we see there are some of the same challenges we saw within the macro networks, which are local regulatory, leasing and zoning challenges, as well as challenges with commercial power, so on and so forth. So I think that as this evolves, one of our charters is to ensure that we're working with the regulatory angles to make this a seamless transition. I think the challenge for carriers or operators in the small cell space is concerns around the return versus the cost of a small cell with regulatory and power and the amount of traffic that small cell can carry. So we're working with the different players to try and make that a cost-efficient solution.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Matt.
Hey, thank you so much.
For all of TIA Now's coverage of TIA 2015 Network of the Future, please log on to tianow.org. So long.